Alrighty, so a couple of weeks ago I posted up that I changed the door button on my car, and it seemed that I ordered the wrong part. I have the correct part with me here. Definitely works. I've got it all here, and because I've done this now before, I'm well informed on how I actually do things on this car. There is a service manual that I looked on, but some of the things were pretty vague. So when it came to this little connector, I'll show you here. So that it's got the little blue thing here, and in the shroud that goes behind the door trim, which I'll show you a bit later in the video, you'll realize that you need to take this connector off for you to be able to fit this cable through the door card to get to the other side, and then securely attach it to the clip. Alright, so these are all the tools that I've got here required to do what I need to do. Now, I've got a Ryobi kit here, a whole bunch of different hex bits, drill bits. All you're going to need to do to take this door trim off here will be one of these extension things. You can get these easy on a lot of the kits, because if you've got something like that, it's not going to fit into the socket. So you get this extension, and one of the parts that you need to access the bolt, on my kit here it says it's H4, so that's a little hex one that you're going to need to attach to the top of that. You will also need a set of some pretty small precision flathead screwdrivers, stuff like that, because to use on your connector, you'll see here I've already taken it off, so this little shroud has to come off. It's slid, you just slide it out, but you can only slide it out after you've lifted up the tab, and then you can slide it out. This tab here has 3 pins on it, and to remove any of the pins, I'm actually going to use even smaller one here. So this one's really tiny. In these little connectors, you're just going to push back on one of the pins, and then it'll shove it out. Then that will allow you to pull out the pin, and you're going to need to remove all 3 of these pins. This blue connector is going to have to come off, and you're going to reconnect it once you've fed the cables through the door card. Remember the pattern that you've got here. So we've got blue, red, and black. Once that's all fit, then you're going to reattach the thing to secure it, plug it in. It's going to be happy. So that's the tools that I'm going to be using to do this. One of the other last bits here, this is another tricky one. I'm pretty sure that this is a T10. It's also got the security hole at the top. A lot of the other hex tools that you get don't have the hole. There is one screw that needs to be removed inside the door card, which I'll go over when we take it off. And you need a tool like this. The part number on this one is saying it's a TT20. This is what you'll also need to remove one of the other bolts. Alrighty, so I've got the H4 little bit here, I've got the extension thing on here, and just behind on my car here is a socket that we can remove out. So you're going to line it up there. Because I've done this heaps of times, I know where it all is. Okay, bolts out. I'm going to keep these in a safe pocket. I've got over here with all my other tools. This one will come out. And then there is another bolt, and it's under here. Where have I got it? Here. Okay. So that's done. We've removed that. Now, before we proceed any further, before we go ahead and remove this door card, we're going to do exactly what the service manual says, and that is to fully retract the window. You need to remove the fully retract the window, because if you're taking any of these components off and you happen to go have a break and you come back to the car and someone accidentally closes your door, your window may not go down because you've removed some cables. So that's important. unless you want to make this an expensive exercise involving not just replacing the button, but also replacing the window. Next part, so we've taken out 2 bolts. Remove this little tool here. Underneath the pocket is where you've got your little door light. So I'm going to get a little flathead in my toolkit, and that's just going to wedge underneath the little tab. Pry that out, and you're going to just have that out. You're going to use that as leverage to remove the door card out. There's about 10 bolt sockets that are all on this surrounding part. Once you've taken out of these 2 bolts here, taken off that, you're good to go. So I pretty much do it this way. Pull it out. It's pretty forceful. Don't feel like you're gonna break it. It is pretty strong, and it's held up the top there, so you can leverage it up. Just make sure you've taken out all the bolts. Leverage it up, lift it up, and it will come out. And here's your door card. We don't need to remove any of these cables here, so they're going to stay there. And I'll go get something to rest this door card on the floor. To access the part that we need to do, we need to take off the sound. I think it's sound absorb. To me, it just looks like a pillow. And it's got a bunch of little tabs. So, what's that? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just keep that inside the car. Make sure you replace that before you put everything back together. And I'll show you here now. So this is the connector that we're replacing. So we'll be able to easily undo that one. Mine's got a bit of a different job. You do not need to do this with the zip tie and the red cable. And that's because I wasn't aware of how to splice the connector away from the ports, but now I do. So the door card is down on the chair that I've got there. I've introduced 2 new tools that I'm going to use as well. Forgot to mention these ones. Just normal flathead screwdriver and a little plastic trim tool that you can use to lift up parts. We're going to use this one for more inside the door with the fabrics. So that will just wait there. I've attached the TT20 little hex screw here to my extension one, because there is one screw that is down in here, and it's really odd. So you can already see this plastic part here. I've already, you know, twisted a bit up to get access, because there's a hidden bolt down there, and that's what I wasn't even sure how to get access to that. That one is secured with the little hex screw. So as long as you got some good lighting, you should be able to see what you're doing down there. Make sure it's in the right... Nope, it was in the right one. Excellent, I think I got it. So this screw will come out eventually, and you need to get this out, because otherwise you're not getting anywhere. Okay, here's our little hidden gem that I was looking for. So, maybe the designers of this will have a different solution in different revisions, but this one was actually hard to access. Hang on, I'm gonna come out. Yeah, okay. So this is a little screw here. Not going to lose that. Okay, so now that's out. The next step will be to release the connector that's on here. So pretty easy, just twist it and it will pull away from there. We've disconnected that. Now we're going to need to, I'll do it properly here, I'll remove the connector without splicing this cable again to get this out again. Hopefully I don't need to take off the... So I've got a little tiny flat head here. I'm just going to wedge it underneath this connector and then lift it up. And then once that's out, you can... Is it going to budge? It just needs to be slid to the side. There we go. Alright. So I'll just put that there. Now these connectors, the pin order, I've already got another connector, so I don't need to make a mental note on what it is. So I'm just going to slide the pins back away from the connector. Okay. Doesn't want to come out, not yet. It's close. Yay, there we go. So the connector's out. Pretty efficient on that one. And we've just got the cable. Normally you wouldn't have a zip tie on there, but I'm going to see if I can feed it through the other sides. Alright, now here comes the fun part on removing the button from the handle. Use a little plastic tool like this one. If you want to protect the trim here, Tesla in their service manual actually advised to use painter's tape around the shroud. If you're careful and you are pretty confident, then I didn't use any of it. So we're gonna wedge this here. Sorry, I'm gonna wedge it underneath the cable, underneath here, to show you here. Yep. You should be able to just pull apart, yep. Okay. Now once you've done that, you'll be able to slide out the housing of the button. And all going well, my little cable should fit. Alright, so I got the button out. Yeah, it did seem to separate from that little makeup thing that I did on that, but that's alright. I've pulled it all out and I can do a proper job of repairing this one. This one will be a door button for the front left, not for the rear left. So we've got it out. Now, next thing will be to put in the correct part. Okay, so I've got the new correct button here, and I've already taken off my connector clip. So we're going to shove these through the little hole. Might be a bit tedious, but I should be able to see that on the other side. Yep, I can see two. Yep, there we go. Oh, that was so easy. Alright, so now we'll get the little connector, put it in its place where it's going to go in. It's got little tiny pins that you line up on the door. You'll be able to see. So pretty much, once you've lined all those up, I'm just going to wedge it into the position. Wants to. There we go. Oh. Okay. That's good to me, and we can just click in these. That's happy, that's in. And we've got our cable out here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna just put that screw back into there, and that's gonna hold the door card with the button in place and just hold it. Then we're gonna reconnect the connector, and then we can pack this all up. Alrighty, so you just need to make sure that when you're putting the little tab in place, that all your pins have been pushed through. You'll be able to give it a good eye, then you'll be able to slide over the little retaining clip. That's in position, and then we're just going to push it down a bit. There we go. Happy with that. And then just give it a pull, make sure that it's tight, nothing's going to come out. We will just quickly connect this in. Firm little click in there. We're going to give the button a little test. You can hear that the button's working, so that's awesome. Plug that into the little clip there, and now our next step is to put that bolt together. Okay, alright, got the screw in there, I've lined it up. This makes jobs so much easier having one of these screwdrivers. Okay, that's pretty firm to me. Alright, now we're just looking at the fitment, so looks perfectly fine, nothing's out of order. I'm pulling on that, and I can see that it's pulling away a bit there, so I'll give it a bit more tightness on that screw. Yep. Alright. Okay, so I tightened up that little bolt, have a look at all that. Next step is just put your 3 tabs. Push that all into place. It's all happy. So to mount it back up, you're just going to hinge it up the top of that little window. Alright, so we've put it on the top hinge there. That's the first bit that you're going to do. And then you can visually see through the little gaps if it lines up with those little pins. That's what you want. Now you're just going to apply pressure all around it, and you just hear those clips go back into place. Okay. Alright, the little door light, click that back in. We've got 2 bolts to do, and we're done. Alright, both bolts are the same. We're going to add this in. There we go. That's in. Check. Solid. Alright, so I guess the next bit is, does it work? Door's closed. Does the window go? Yep. Okay. Awesome.